What if I told you Christopher Nolan made a 3,000-year-old myth feel more real than most movies set in the present day? And if you walked out of the theater feeling like you'd actually been transported into that world? Yeah, there's a reason for that. After watching it in IMAX, I think I finally figured out why it feels so real. And don't worry, this video is completely spoiler-free. And I should probably mention, movies set in ancient times where everyone has swords aren't really my thing. I knew I'd probably appreciate the filmmaking, but I did not expect to care this much about the people. This movie got me emotional twice. And I don't normally cry during movies. The weird thing is, the first thing I noticed wasn't the IMAX or even the visuals. It was the edit. That was really my biggest question going in. Am I actually gonna be pulled into this, or am I just gonna sit there watching stuff happen? Or am I about to spend the next 3 hours of my life figuring out what the heck is going on when the movie should have made it more clear? For the first 2 minutes of the Odyssey, I was still waiting to see if the movie was gonna lose me, but then I completely stopped thinking about it. There were scenes where I was thinking, okay, there's no way they're gonna cut away right now, and they did. But I was still thinking about the last scene while the next one gave me something completely new to worry about. And at a certain point, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this movie is actually pulling it off. Once I realized I was completely locked into the story, my editor brain started noticing all these little choices. And there were moments in the Odyssey where I'd completely miss what someone said because of that, and then tune back in and still know exactly what was happening. I remember thinking, how the heck am I missing all these lines and still completely following this? And after a while, I wasn't even thinking about the editing anymore. I was just in it. But that still doesn't explain why everything in this movie felt so freaking huge. At first, I thought it was maybe just IMAX making everything feel massive. But then I noticed that Nolan would show me something huge, cut to a tiny person standing next to it, and suddenly I'd be like, oh my gosh, that thing is enormous. If he kept showing me giant shots over and over, I probably would have gotten used to it. But every time my brain started adjusting, he'd throw a person in the mix and completely reset the scale. But then, of course, Nolan takes it even further. He cuts between people in completely different places, and at some point I realized, hold on. Why does it feel like 10 different things are happening when I'm literally just watching two people having a conversation? The screen being huge still doesn't explain why I couldn't look away. So what was keeping me locked in? That's when I started noticing this trick Nolan kept using. He was turning these scenes into countdowns. Now, YouTube does this constantly. 10 people are left, 5 minutes remain, only one person can win. And sometimes it works, but after seeing it 1,000 freaking times, you can feel when the countdown exists only because the video is so scared you're gonna leave. So the Odyssey should have felt the exact same way, but it doesn't. I remember sitting there thinking, why does it feel like everything is about to go wrong at the same time? And then I realized it wasn't because I was waiting for something to happen. It felt like a bunch of things were already happening somewhere else, and I was just waiting for them to collide. And every time the movie revealed one more thing, I'd think, okay, here we go. This is where everything falls apart. There were scenes where I knew Nolan was making me wait on purpose, but I was still leaning forward in my chair like that was somehow gonna make everything happen faster. Like there was this one scene where the characters were barely saying anything, and I was pretty sure I knew exactly what was about to happen. And that should have killed the suspense. But then the movie made one specific choice. I can't reveal it without spoiling it. But from that point on, I genuinely had no idea what was gonna happen. Nothing about it felt safe. The music kept getting stranger and more unsettling, and the longer the scene went on, the more I started thinking, okay, wait, maybe I don't know how this ends. So while I'm busy trying to figure out what happens next, I start getting more and more convinced it's about to happen right now. Now I'm looking at everything like, it's about to happen right here. Oh, wait, no, it's about to happen right now. no, it's right here. It's gotta be right here. I was genuinely tweaking. Right when I felt like, gosh darn, this movie has a ridiculous amount of stuff going on, but every scene still gives me one simple thing to focus on. And it was doing that while the characters were still carrying all this emotional stuff on top of everything already happening. But no matter how much was happening in the Odyssey, I was never confused about who needed what or why I should be freaking out for them. Every time somebody did something, I was just sitting there like, well, that's definitely gonna come back and ruin somebody's day. And then I realized something kind of ridiculous. I had stopped wondering how they filmed any of this. Modern blockbusters have basically trained my brain to look for the trick. I'm so used to watching movies where you can feel the green screen, you can tell the actor isn't really driving, you can tell they're pretending to hold something that isn't even there. You can almost picture the VFX artist behind the shot. But with the Odyssey, I never caught myself thinking, yeah, that's obviously fake. No. And it's not because the movie avoids visual effects, it uses plenty of them. You just rarely catch yourself noticing them. Even when something completely impossible was happening, my brain never went, yeah, nobody's actually there, everybody's okay. I know, I kept reacting like somebody could genuinely be hurt. And after a while, I wasn't even trying to spot the effect anymore. I wasn't thinking, wow, that looked cool. I was thinking, gosh darn, that looked like it hurt. But I wasn't ready for how physical the movie felt. I watch movies in IMAX all the time, so I thought I knew what loud felt like. I did not. The bass hit me so hard in the chest it felt like somebody was beating me. My seat was vibrating, my cheeks were getting pounded by surround sound. So at first I thought, okay, this is why it feels so real. The movie's just incredibly loud. But I've seen plenty of loud movies and none of them felt like this. And usually when a movie stays this loud for too long, I start tuning it out, but that never happened here. I remember flinching at least once, and that was when I realized the sound was doing a lot more than just being loud as heck. I literally looked up the sound designer the second I left the theater, and when I saw the name, Richard King, I was like, oh, that explains everything. Of course, it was the freaking guy who did The Dark Knight, Interstellar, and Oppenheimer, and even the music. It sounds nothing like what I would expect from a movie about ancient Greece. There were moments where the music would hit, and I'd be sitting there thinking, yo, what the heck am I listening to right now? I've never heard anything like this in a movie. Normally, I'd be playing the movie's music underneath this video so you could hear exactly what I'm talking about. But this soundtrack, man, is so special. I feel like your first time hearing it should be in a theater. I don't want to ruin that experience for you. So at that point, I was pretty convinced the sound was the reason this movie felt so real. But then I started thinking about the scenes that stuck with me the most. And almost every single one of them had me sitting in my chair thinking, if I was in that situation, I'd be freaking cooked. And that's why so many action scenes in other movies can look incredible and still make me feel absolutely nothing. Usually, the bigger these movies get, the easier it is to stop caring about the people in them. Because after a while, the characters can start feeling like they're only there to move the giant action scenes along. But the Odyssey never lets you forget that there are actual people stuck in the middle of all this. Sometimes two characters would lock eyes with each other, and I'd immediately think, oh no, they both know exactly what's about to happen. So when the movie opened up into these massive action scenes, I wasn't just sitting there like, wow, this looks incredible. I was more like, please get me out of here. Get these people the heck out of here. I'm stressing. And I think that's why it stopped feeling like some ancient story and started feeling like something I could actually relate to. By the time the movie ended, I wanted to walk out of the theater and just come right back. Even though it's a friggin' 3-hour movie, I wanted to watch it again because half the time I was completely immersed and the other half my editor brain was catching all these little choices. Like I'd be halfway through a scene and I'd notice my forehead was all scrunched up like this really hard and my heart was beating faster. And I was like, when did that happen? I wasn't aware. When did I start tensing up like this? I kept looking for one giant trick that made the Odyssey feel real, but there isn't one. Somewhere along the way, I just stopped wondering how they made any of it. I was too busy wondering what was going to happen next. And if you want to see another movie that feels way more real than it should, watch this Backrooms breakdown next. Because after I watched it, normal rooms started feeling terrifying.